So the new lockbox is now here. On the bazaar you will be able to purchase the Leaping Flame Lockbox. However, you will be able to just obtain it from enemies as you kill them, and so you can save yourself a bit of astral diamonds. But we have 250 of them, and we're going to open all of them, obtaining all of the new rewards. The new mount, the new companion, and the rest of the lockbox is just the same as the previous ones. Ultimately, let's make sure that everything works properly and test out that new companion and mount. So we're just going to steam through this pretty quick. We already got the mount there, that's pretty lucky. And ultimately, let's just get those new rewards and then check them out. Opening these lockboxes is, nothing new. So let's get through it quickly. We already obtained the companion there as well, along with these other rewards. So we could just stop here and walk away. But as per most lockboxes, I generally do recommend getting to the 250 mark before you switch to, say, another lockbox, because then you're taking advantage of all those guaranteed rewards, including the guaranteed mythic choice pack at the very end. You get here and ta-da, you get the bonus pack, and you basically walk away with a free extra reward there. And it's well worth it. Just stick to a lockbox until the end before you switch to another. But it does mean missing out on one or two lockboxes, like saving up this many keys is usually takes you more than half a year of VIP. But we can look through the rewards that we did obtain. You can see everything here: mythic rewards, legendary rewards, epic rewards here, blue ones, green, and then all the trade bars. Total amount of trade bars, we got about just over 12,000 of them. That's pretty good. So it's the same average as you normally would obtain. And you can spend the trade bars now on some new things like these companions. You could get yourself the Black Death Scorpion, the Neverwinter Knight, Tutor. But generally, just make sure you check prices on the auction house. These will always be accessible, but they're pretty steeply priced, to be honest. Make sure you're at least waiting till the 20% discount event before getting anything there with your trade bars. You'll just have to be patient, look at the calendar, and upcoming August the 15th will be the next trade bar discount event. Save onto them until then, and lockboxes are well worth it just for the trade bars alone, and then you just throw everything else on top as bonus. Pretty neat. Ultimately, let's check these rewards out. So the new mount right here and the new companion. We can have a look at their appearances and abilities. So this will be the new mount, the Bestial Fire Archon. Looks actually a lot cooler than what they showed in the dev blog, with all the glowing fire effects within the armor. They did not do a great job at showing the art in the blog, that's for sure. But as for its powers, it has Hot Streak. So the Bestial Fire Archon attacks the enemies in a line, leaving magma pools that deal periodic damage. So the initial hit will be 400 magnitude, and then the pools will deal damage up to 460 magnitude, and that will last 10 seconds. And the added effect is that those enemies affected by the magma pools will take 15% increased damage. That is very good for supporting your team at dealing extra damage, and potentially useful for multi-target damage. So let's head up to the dummies here and have a quick look at the animation of that combat power. We go here against these targets, we cast it, and there you go. It just charges in a line straight out in front of you, and you can see the magma pools it puts on the ground. So it is fairly easy to aim where they're all going to be. Could very well be pretty decent for your multi-target damage, just also having that debuff effect. But usually you want a more like one hit type of multi-target attack that is going to deal damage like very quickly. Otherwise this just takes too long and everything's probably going to be dead by the time you can maximize the potential and damage output, and I would usually only use it on a tank or a healer. Then you have Blazing Opportunity, just combat advantage and crit severity. Pretty neat. It will depend on what build you're using, whether you can make the most of that, but that's good for damage dealers. And then as the Insignia bonuses here, you have 4 slots, and you can see the list of them, including Tactician's Precision, which is super useful. One of the best for any damage dealer to have right now. Make sure you at least have it either from this mount or the Demon Wings or the Neverwinter hand if you got that from the Jubilee. But it's also got Protector's Covenant, Lionheart's Perseverance, Executioner's Covenant, Survivalist Expertise, Gladiator's Guile, which is actually very nice, Shepherd's Devotion, Wanderer's Fortune, Alchemist Invigoration, Combatant's Maneuver. So a lot of options here, which is very nice. Just be aware which ones you can use. If you wanted to take advantage of the preferred slot, you can see it'll only be Protector's Covenant, Lionhearts, Gladiators. Can you actually take advantage of Gladiators? You cannot. It will just switch to Lionheart's Perseverance. So that's incorrect there. But then you can have Wanderer's Fortune, Alchemists, and Combatant's Maneuver, all with this preferred slot. Tactician's Precision, you will have to forego the preferred slot, but that's nothing new because no mounts right now have Tactician's Precision with the preferred slot, unfortunately. So you could be extra patient and wait for that if you wanted to, but make sure you at least have one of these bonuses somewhere. Last thing we need to do is check the effectiveness of this mount power and if it actually works properly. Maybe it's bugged and doesn't. We can see our damage here, 26,795 without the debuff. We cast the mount power and we should see our effectiveness get increased. We indeed do, up to 76%, up to 30,814. And so very nicely it works. A last showcase again of the mount up animation, and you can see this is a spacebar animation, so it is kind of just a Drake. We've seen this before, just kind of reskinned, but it is pretty cool with its fire effect. Definitely going to fit well in Mount Hope now. Now let's check the new companion. We have Dania the Acrobat. We can quickly look in combat here what she does, and there you go. She has kind of like monkish abilities. It would be cool if they were actually working on a monk as a new class. They did say, however, that they would be unlikely to due to the way monk is similar to a lot of other classes. But to be honest, I wouldn't complain if we got a new class and it was the monk. These animations, pretty sweet. We haven't seen them in the game before. And those come from her abilities here. So she has Javelin Staff Smash. You saw that there, leaping into the air and dealing a bunch of damage to the target and enemies around it. And then her just Javelin Staff Strike. I don't know why it just calls it Javelin. She's clearly just using a quarterstaff. But this one just deals damage around her as she does with that flurry. And so yeah, she can hit multiple targets, but they got to be pretty close together until she does that smash ability. But then she has this aura giving just 10% movement speed to you and everybody around you, up to 20 players. And we can see our movement speed is currently at 50%, and if we dismiss her, we can see our movement speed should go down to 40%. It's actually at 35% because that's correct. We're getting 5% through this ability and then 10% from herself. So that also confirms this ability works, just giving you the flat 5% movement speed. Don't be misled. The power is only for your companion. That's so she can do a bit more damage rather than moving faster. Then she has also the acrobatic speed ability she gives you. It's a utility slot effect, so you can put it in one of your universals or your utility. Just movement speed and stamina regen. I don't rate it too highly, but feel free to use it if you want some extra mobility, I guess. Ultimately, we need to check out how effective is she compared to others. She is a multi-target companion, so I'm not expecting her to be that great in, say, single target. Keep in mind again, all of the rewards are account wide. You can check in your rewards reclaim agent. We should be able to claim the mount, indeed, the Bestial Fire Archon, and the companion Dania the Acrobat. I've been mispronouncing her name, but it's Diana. Excuse me. So putting her in combat there, let's leave her to attack for a little bit and have a look. A few minutes later and we find her DPS is like 17,000. So definitely not good at all for single target. Avoid using her unless you just want the extra movement speed as the support effect. Say if you're a tank or a healer and want to provide that to the team. It's useful. Will depend on the content though. If it's just a boss fight where nobody moves ever, then it's useless. But there are, as of late, quite a lot of boss fights where you do have to move for certain mechanics. It can help for people to get around the place quicker. But with that, I would assume her multi-target damage is not great either. Her max hit is about 150,000 max there. And then her javelin strike, like 14,000 max. It's more of a flurry of little hits. So I wouldn't use her for her damage output, that's for sure. But again, the movement speed is nice to have in certain situations. Just to show in the new zone, here's the new mount. And we have Diana beside us as well. The zone doesn't actually do that well, that much favors towards the mount's armor. I would have liked it to look a bit more metallic. Not just this kind of flat grey, but that's just me and I guess the lighting here in this area. But otherwise it's pretty cool with regards to the fire effects. The fire Archon trapped within. And then Diana running beside us. Yeah, she's pretty cool with her staff, at least when she's in combat. We can jump to these ads and see how well she does. There you go. Does that smash attack very early on, which is pretty good. She can hit both of them beside her there. So yeah, she's not the worst for like solo questing out here. Will take a bit of time to kill them, but another smash later and she's dealt with them. Ultimately again, the main thing I find that's good about the lockbox is the new mount having Tactician's Precision. Otherwise, a new support companion giving movement speed, useful in some situations. Once again, a massive thank you to all these channel members for your added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.